I've been asked a handful of times about what is All Terrain Outlaws and who are we. So I figured I would give you a brief history of how we came to be and what we're all about. We started back in 2012 at a place called Randolph ORV. We would take our trucks and dirt bikes and Jeeps out there, hit some trails, find mud holes, just general, four-wheel and having fun. But we wanted to be able to keep that together and plan our next trips out there with everybody. And, make sure that there was more than just one person going, because you never really want to go four-wheeling by yourself just in case something happens. And so while we were getting that together, we decided that probably a mud club would be the best way to do it. We brainstormed names for probably 2 weeks. None of them really fit very well. We wanted to have an acronym of Army because we were all in the Army together, but none of them really popped off the page for us to say, yeah, that's what we were going to do. One day we were standing around the motor pool, and I said, hey, what about All Terrain Outlaws? That's kind of a cool name, and that's what we decided we were going to use. So while we were brainstorming names, I was on a couple of Facebook groups for different vehicles. And I remember that a lot of them were for those specific vehicles. And I wanted to create something for everything, anything automotive. And so All Terrain Outlaws started out as a mud group, but it evolved into basically an automotive group. And we wanted to make a community around everything automotive. A place where you could show off your project you're working on, or if you get stuck on a project, you can go on there and ask somebody who's hopefully already done that project and knows what exactly you're dealing with. Or if you're driving down the street and your car breaks down, but you're 100 miles from home, somebody hopefully would be close by to be able to help you out or fix, or show you where to go to get it fixed, point you in the right direction. And so since it evolved into that, and I was explaining it to one of my buddies, he's like, dude, it sounds like you want to start a forum, not a Facebook group. And I've never dealt with forums. I mean, I've Googled them up to figure out some information for something I was working on, but I've never really been an active member in one. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. I've got it. I've built a couple of them. We'll be okay. So I went over to his house later on that week, and we started building the first forum for All Terrain Outlaws, which we found out that hosting site didn't host all forum groups. So we jumped over to another one and got that built up. When we went live with it, we ended up getting about 300 to 400 members, which was pretty good for not having anybody to begin with. And then overnight it was at 10,000, which obviously doesn't seem right. So we found out that it was inundated with bots, and we couldn't really do anything about it. We'd delete one and 10 more would show up. So we scrapped that one. We started to build a new one with stronger security, and that one went pretty decent. We never really got the true membership numbers that we had with the original one before the bots showed back up and started just wreaking havoc. And while all of that was going on, my buddy who was building the forum got PCS orders to go out to Egypt. So he's getting ready to go to Egypt, and we don't have anybody knowledgeable enough in the area to continue what he was working on and pick up what he was working on and continue. So we just kind of let the forum die. The forum was, we're not going to do that anymore. So he went out to Egypt. I decided to start up a Facebook group because that was what I was going to start originally. And I started the Facebook group, got a handful of members, and I ended up getting my orders to ETS to go home. So I got out of the Army and went back home to Illinois. So we're spread out everywhere. And when I got home, I ran into my buddy Rob and explained to him what I was doing with All Terrain Outlaws. And we started filming a couple things on his project car that he had. Took a couple pictures, you know, made a couple clips for a video that we were going to do. We started up a YouTube channel. And right around that time, it kind of died out because I moved down to Arizona to be with my girlfriend. So I got down in here, and All Terrain Outlaws sat for, you know, it sat dead for probably, I'd say, a year. And we moved out to Kansas because she got orders to PCS up to Fort Leavenworth. When we got up that way, I started working with a guy who, when I told him about All Terrain Outlaws, he was like, dude, you really need to get this going. It's awesome. So he lit a fire out under my ass to get everything going. I started the Facebook group back up. It had probably 10 people on it anymore after it sat dormant for so long. So we started the Facebook group back up. I posted here and there on the Instagram for that whole time. Not really much of doing anything on that one. And we started getting that going. And after a little bit of time of trying to get it going again, we decided to move back down here to Arizona. So now we're back down here in Arizona, and we're spread out all over the place. A couple of people weren't really keeping tabs on what was going on, so it was only probably me and a couple of other people who were really doing anything for the group. And so being down here for a couple months, I decided that I wanted to get this going. And I reached out to my buddy Rob and a couple other guys, my buddy Coffin, and tried to see what they wanted to do and see how we could get it going again. And for the last couple of months, we've been just slowly trying to build the group back up to what it was originally, and hopefully a much larger community of automotive enthusiasts. Basically, we've based it on the fact that we want to be able to share projects and tips for people who are working on vehicles. Hopefully be able to bring new people into the car community. You know, even if you don't know what you're doing, it doesn't matter, because somebody will be able to help you out and get you up to speed with what everyone else is working on. If you're driving across the country and you break down somewhere, we'd love it to be able to get onto All Terrain Outlaws, say, hey, I'm at such and such mile marker, and hopefully within 10 miles or so, somebody could be like, I'm over here, I can help you out, or at least they can point you in the right direction, so you're not stranded on the side of the road. Also, since the founding members of All Terrain Outlaws were all military, and we know how it goes when you get to your first duty station or even your second duty station, you don't really know too many people there usually. And if you could get onto a Facebook page and talk to people who are even in the same mindset that you are, same little community that you've got, when you get on there, you could talk to people about what's in store for you when you get there, what kind of things you should be looking out for, help along the way just in case something happens. And when you get to your new duty station, instead of showing up there and not knowing anybody, you've already got a small group of friends pre-made before you get up there. So we'd like to be able to help out as many people as we can, especially our automotive friends, cars, trucks, dirt bikes, autocross, drifting, anything along those lines, so we can build this community and bridge the gap between other communities, so you don't have to go from specific forums for that car. You can just type in, hey, I've got a truck, and I also have a race car at the same time. And so you don't have to go to specific forums for those vehicles. You can just go onto All Terrain Outlaws and talk about everything at the same time. But we would like to see you guys jump in there and share it with your friends and see what's going on. If you've got ideas for videos, let us know. If you want to see something, let us know. And we'll catch you next time.